Good morning students. So today we will be seeing about image enhancement in spatial domain. So how images are enhanced in spatial domain and what are the techniques we are using to enhance an image in spatial domain. So before that we have to know what is image enhancement. So image enhancement is nothing but we will be improving the quality of an image for a particular application without degrading the original image. Okay, so the output image will be of high quality and no details will be lost while enhancing an image. So these are the various enhancement methods. So first one is spatial domain method, image plane. Next one is frequency domain method, and next finally combination method. So spatial domain method we will be based on direct manipulation of pixels. So for example we can say that we will be placing a masking technique over the pixels of image and we will be processing. So next one is frequency domain method. So frequency domain methods in the sense we will be applying some Fourier transforms on the image such as a DFT or DCT, that is discrete Fourier transform or discrete cosine transforms can be applied over the image. The next one is combination methods. So combination method is nothing but we will be implementing both the spatial domain method as well as frequency domain methods for the applications. So first let's see what is spatial domain method. So spatial domain method is nothing but it is the aggregate of pixels that are present in a particular image and we will be operating directly on these pixels. So it is given by an expressions like g of x comma y is equal to t of f of x comma y, where f of x comma y denotes the input image and g of x comma y is the processed image and t is the operator on f that is defined over the neighborhood x comma y. In addition, t can also operate over a set of input images. So for example, you can see clearly in the given example. So we are considering the 3 cross 3 neighborhood pixel that are present in a point, present around a point. Okay, so that particular pixels will be taken and it will be processed. So in this case the value of g depends upon the function f at x comma y and t becomes the gray level, that is the intensity level or mapping transformation function. So it can be given by a formula called as s is equal to t of r. So examples of enhancement techniques. So first one is contrast stretching. So contrast stretching is nothing but we will be darkening the levels that are below the original image and we will be brightening the image that are above the original image. So contrast stretching, it will be improving the contrast of image just by stretching the values that are present within the desired range. So suppose if you are considering a pixel and if you are considering the particular matrix value like 3 cross 3, so it will be expanded or stretched to get a desired range of values as an output. So this is also said to be a linear function. So next one is thresholding. So in the last case we saw that we will be expanding the whole particular binary values that are present, but in case of threshold value we will be just varying the gray level at that point and each and every point will be processed. So this process can be also said as point processing. So you can see that one of the principal approaches that is used is masking technique. So you can see that we are considering 3 cross 3 and we are applying the masking technique. So in masking technique we will be considering the coefficients that are present within that particular mask. So that process is called as image sharpening and the image techniques, enhancing techniques will be based upon this approach is called as mask processing or mask filtering technique. So next one is some basic gray intensity transformation. So this is also called as basic intensity functions. So what we will be doing is before processing the pixels and after processing the pixel we will be marking the values as r and s respectively. So it is given by a particular expression called s is equal to t of r, where t is the transformation that maps the pixel value of r into pixel value s. So it is fully based upon this particular graph only. So you will be having negative and in opposite you will be having positive and then identity, negative and identity, that is log and inverse log. nth root and nth power. So based upon this only the processing will be done. So as I told you, you can see that linear functions are negative and identity, logarithmic functions such as log and inverse log, power law functions such as nth power and nth root. So first one is identity functions. So the output will be exactly identical to the input. Okay, so it does not causes any change in the input images. So it will be just identical. Input is equal to output. So it is given by an expression S is equal to R. So in next case, the negative of an image will be ranging from the value 0 to L minus 1, where L is the largest value that is present in an image. So this is just the opposite, that is this is just the reverse manner of intensity levels that are present in an image. As you have know that we will be producing photographic negative films. Okay, so it will be just enhancing the white or gray details that are present in the particular image. So for that purpose we are using this image negative technique in an image. So next one is log transformation. So log transformation, that log curve maps a narrow range of low gray level, so where the input can be said that it has a wider range of output levels, and next thing is it is also used to expand the value of gray level pixel, and next thing is it compresses the dynamic range of images with large variations in the pixel value, and it is given by an expression where S is equal to C into log of 1 plus R. So you can see that we have considered an input image with Fourier spectrum, and after that we are applying the transformation in the input image. It is very clear that after transformation the image is obtained is very clear. So inverse logarithmic function is nothing but it is just exactly opposite to the logarithmic function. Here we used to expand the value of high pixels in the image, while the low dark level pixels are being compressed. Next one is power law transformation. So power law transformation will be just the value will be getting varied according to the different values of C and gamma positive constants. So it will be getting mapped according to the C and R value. So for example, you can see that in addition to gamma correction we are also applying power law transformation. So from you can clearly note down the difference between the first image, input image. After that we are applying the transformation function in the second image, and in the third image we are changing the gamma value and C value. So gamma value is set as 0.6, 4 and 0.3 respectively, and C value is set as 1, and then it is processed and the final output is obtained. So this is just an MRI of an image of a fractured human spine. So by applying this gamma corrections and power law, we can clearly identify where the spine is fractured. So this is the basic applications of power law transformations. So here we are seeing another one application of power law transformation. So first one is aerial image. So now we are applying the transformation in the second function. So after that we are setting the C value as 1 and gamma value as 3, 4 and 5 respectively, and the final output image is obtained with higher quality with an enhanced image as an output. So it is very clear that we are going for applying this transformation function and it is being processed. Hope you all understood about the linear transformation functions and how the image is enhanced by using this technique. Thank you.